Hello, my friends. My name is Constance Messmer, and you are listening to Soul Awareness with Constance Messmer. Today, I'm going to jump into some foundational information in regards to psychic and spiritual development and being able to tune in to your soul senses. I hope you enjoy this session. As I've mentioned before, but it bears repeating, psychic comes from the word psyche, and the word psyche means soul. A psychic, someone that does that for work, this type of work that I do, works with the perceptions of the soul's awareness to convey these findings as information to some other person or to myself, really, in an effort to give a wider knowledge base. So if you focus on the physical reality only, then that is all you will experience. But instead, when you expand your awareness to the senses of the soul, there are endless possibilities. Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. We are all wired to some degree. Yes, some people more than others. I was, well, actually, an astrocartologist, an astrologer that works with where I should be living on the planet. And I'm pretty much where I should be anyway. Told me I came in with all 11 senses open. So I think I'm pretty wired for this work. But I've also learned through my reads of other people, my work with God, my sitting in meditation, and my classes that I've taught, is that some people just need to be plugged in or opened up to the experience. Or some people just need to learn the language of the experiences to recognize that this is already something they do. So I just want to tell you that in this work with me, you will need to have an open heart, an open mind, expanded awareness, focused concentration, and active non judgment. All right? Open heart, open mind, expanded awareness, focused concentration, and active non judgment. And don't worry, I will be guiding you through each of these steps along our journey together. Your heart is your connection to your higher self awareness. Your mind loves to embellish, your ego mind loves to embellish, but your heart knows the truth. And discerning the truth is the goal of this work. So what I want you to realize is as we move along through this work, I'm going to refer to hits. In other words, awarenesses that come to you like a psychic hit or an inner knowing. But mostly I want to call them hits. And I want you to realize that our inaccurate hits are just as important as accurate ones. If you can feel the difference, remember then, even embellishments are lessons to learn from. But this work is from the heart first and foremost. All right. And you are going to feel a physical feeling in your heart center, warmth or goodness. And this connection will help you realize whether or not the information that you're getting is true, good, and accurate. You are going to feel the difference in your heart. You might be getting a lot of the information through the mechanics of your mind, seeing things, hearing things in your mind, seeing things in your mind eye and everything. But your heart is going to be the most important because you're going to use your heart center, the feelings of your heart, as your backup to all the information that you get. So again, this work is of the heart first and foremost. For those of you that do the chakras, and I know I promise we'll get to them later, the brow chakra, like the right in the third eye, quote unquote, or the center of the forehead. This might be where you have a lot of your impressions in your mind, but you have to feel your way through the information. And you'll know when the information is off when you feel it. Listen, so when you're tuning in and when you're having an experience that you're going to see or hear, you'll know when the information is off because you'll feel it. You'll know if you're making a mental embellishment or you're making the information up or it's not accurate because you're going to feel it in your heart. You'll know when you're out of alignment with truth. All right. Because your heart is going to let you know. Listen, don't worry about the mechanics. I'm just giving you a brief overlay of what's going to happen, right? So make your heart center your home base. The energy of the heart chakra is unconditional and non judgmental, and it's beyond one's normal emotions, right? So when in fear, doubt, restless imbalance, go to the heart for your psychic link. This is why you will often hear me say, put your hands on your heart, check the information. All right. So this is why an open heart is important. In other words, you just have to be open to the information. This is different than non-judgment. This is about really having your heart center open. We will do a meditation to help you open your heart. But I just wanted to let you know that bit, that your heart is always your home base. And it's how you feel there that's going to let you know how everything's going. Listen, you know this, you got this. Clear intention is paramount in this work. You have to have active participation. In other words, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? It is with intention that you will move through any experience with spirit, any experience of seeing beyond your physical reality. It is intention that will get you where you want to go. So I always say you open up and you tune into the work, but what you want from the work is also going to be part of the intention. And tuning out or disconnecting from the work is also done by intention. So the intention to start looking into spirit realm or start connecting to your higher truth is all from intention. What you want from this as a spiritual practice is all from intention. When you're disconnecting and tuning into 9 to 5 reality or physical reality instead of spirit realm, all from intention. I had to learn how to shut my skills off and on. Sometimes people, I think I mentioned this before, people walk down the street and they cross the street so they can avoid me, or they put their arms across their heart. I don't peek. And also, I'm in this realm. I'm not going to work unless unless you pay me. Unless you pay me to work. I'm not going to do it unless I'm really called to from spirit, right? Otherwise, my intention is to be in this physical reality unless I'm going to spirit for my own benefit or for someone else's benefit, or if I decide to spend a day dancing between the realms. So your intention is what is going to guide you and direct you in this work. And your intention, by the way, is to be a clear channel of love, a clear channel of truth information, a clear channel for your highest good. So part of that is having non-judgment when you receive your insights, right? Your heart is open. You're not going to judge the information as it comes through. You're just going to be okay with whatever comes through to the degree that it comes through. There'll be times when I'll teach you to question it or go deeper, but I'm just saying you need to be open without judgment when you get information of truth. All right. So this, like I said in the last segment, this is personal development as much as it is psychic development. So make that part of your intention to grow as a soul on the planet, to expand my awareness, to be the highest version of myself, especially through doing this viewing and experiencing and living through my soul's awareness. Just a suggestion. Okay, there are 3 major blocks to this type of development. These are what can trip you up, so beware of their interference. The first one is fear. Well, fear and its tensions, the tensions that it can create in your body, the blocks that it will kind of put up walls because you're afraid of the experience. All right. So it's really about, if you're fearful of the experience. Remember that angel story, and that woman was, the angel showed up and she was like, I'm not worthy. That was fear. That was like, oh, you're lighter than me, better than me, more profound than me, and I'm little and not worthy, fear. What happened, people? The angel bolted. Whoosh. So wild, right? I'm like, okay, golly. Wow. So that's how strong her fear was. It just put up a whole, like, curtain, drew the curtain to the other realm. Closed it right away. So fear is a major block. That's the first one. Disbelief is the second one. Why? Because disbelief creates limitation. In other words, well, I guess if you could imagine, let's go back to the angel. Angel shows up and you're like, I can't believe it. This isn't real. This isn't real. And the angel, meanwhile, is trying to talk to you or give you a message or do a healing. And you're like, I can't believe this. It's not real. And you turn your attention away or you close your eyes or you discount it. This also trips you up and blocks the development and blocks the connection and closes it down. It's like hanging up the phone, right? On, angel calls or maybe someone that you love on the other side visits you in a dream and you poo-poo it. So this creates this limitation, incredible limitation. A no reaction by you cancels out the limitless possibilities. So the whole fear of I'm making this up, I must be making this up, I must be making this up. Instead of stating I'm making this up, which then creates the block, you can ask in your heart, am I making this up? And you're going to feel a warm, like, no, you're going to know as a knowing. We'll get into the ways you'll get that information. Listen, I studied journalism, mass communications, and investigative reporting. I'm really good about getting the answers one way or another. Let go of disbelief, man. It will trip you up. The third major block is over-eagerness. Why? Because this creates expectations and allows your ego in. So, in other words, if you're wanting something to be a particular way, you're looking only for that and not allowing it to be what is. You need to take a deep breath, step back, and let your journey unfold. I can't tell you how many people came and it's like, I want to see, I only hear. I'm like, well, maybe you're supposed to work on hearing for a while. Anyway, we'll get into all that. I feel like I'm always saying that. I'm so sorry, but this is the deal. So listen, fear, disbelief, and overeagerness. You have to check all of those. So maybe you write those down and consider those. Do I have fears about this, about going deeper in my own spirituality? Disbelief. Am I okay with a profound spiritual experience? Am I okay with that? What if, Buddha shows up and I'm Christian? What if this, that, and the other thing? Who knows? And overeagerness. Are you really willing to just kind of let it all go and allow the experience to be what it is for you to happen? These are the important things. So let go of fear, disbelief, and overeagerness. Overeagerness. Took a while to get that word out. Eagerness. Okay, the next bit is responsibility. This is a core foundational piece as well. Responsibility and ethics. With psychic development comes responsibility. You would not go up to someone and say, wow, I see you're going through some stuff. Oh my gosh, I see, your great uncle around you and he wants to tell you this. That's not okay. I don't care what you've been watching or what you've been hearing. You cannot jam your awareness in people's faces. Not through my classes. You have to have proper etiquette. You could say to strangers or friends, I've been working on psychic development and I've got some hits about you, or I've got some hits about your place. I was wondering if you would mind me checking the information with you, just sharing it. That's proper etiquette. And even with this, people might not be truthful because of their own discomfort. They might not give you proper feedback because they're not comfortable with it. Or they may say, no, back off. I don't want to hear it. You have to realize that if someone says, no, I don't want to hear it, don't keep talking. Oh my gosh, that's so not right. And I have to tell you, I remember one time doing, I used to do these talks in a big auditorium space, and I would have people come up. I called it sitting in the hot seat. And a gal decided she wanted to come up, sat in the hot seat. I do this read on her, talk about her mother. She's sitting there going, nope, nope, nope. And Spirit's like, yep, yep, yep. She was not going to admit it. And I thought, golly, you know, am I getting this wrong? And then I thought, no, Constance, you know better. Don't believe the sitter. Don't believe the person sitting in the chair. Believe the spirit world. That's who I work for. So spirit world just kept saying, tell her, because she knew what she signed up for, and Spirit said, "Just tell her this." So I said, "Okay, listen, this may not make sense to you now, but will eventually. So thank you. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks. That's all your information." Because it was like discouraging for me, right? Because she wasn't admitting or agreeing. So she went and sat down in her chair, and I went on with the rest of the group. Beautiful enough, her friend, after the session, after the whole time I was, um, answering people's questions as people mingled, and her girlfriend came up to me and said, "Oh my gosh, everything you said about her mother was right. Everything you said was right. She just can't admit it." I said, "Oh, okay. Thank you for the confirmation." So even if you ask someone, listen, if you're out and about or deciding to do this with friends, try your new skills that you learn in the series of podcasts or series of sessions that we share together. If you do decide to try your skills with people, they may not be truthful to the accuracy of what you're getting because of their own discomfort. And so don't push it, right? This is being appropriate. This is being responsible with what you know. There's been many times when I've asked God, I'm like, how do I say this? This is really tricky information. And I've done group reads, like families have come over and I've pulled different I'm like, listen, we have to leave the room because this information is only for their ears. So you all might think that you're fine all hearing this in a group, but Spirit wants this one-on-one with this person. So I work for Spirit. I encourage you to work for the highest good too. And also just have a beautiful big heart, and responsibility and ethics plays an important role in this. And trust that some places and some times are not appropriate for you to test your budding abilities or your abilities. Thanks for that in advance. Okay, this is the last foundational piece that I'm going to mention in this segment. This is probably the most difficult. This is personal development. If a psychic, or if you as an intuitive, or if you as a soulfully living soul is cluttered by your own personal negativities or fixed ideas, or you're not clear in yourself, then you'll never be able to give accurate psychic perceptions. So otherwise, not completely be able to give accurate psychic perceptions. It's because you will be working through your own filters. And granted, there's a bit of that anyway. Sometimes you're going to be, if you choose to do this as work or be one of God's little helpers that gives people information, which doesn't mean you're collecting money for it, but sometimes I know people that took my classes and then they just want to live a more full and helpful life to other people around them in their workforce. And you just have to realize that when you're doing that, you need to question your own thoughts and feelings through your life so that you can give accurate hits to people. Otherwise, you're always working through your own filters. So you have to be willing to, like I started saying about the people that work, just normal day jobs or just normal friendly people aren't working as quote unquote psychics that get pay. You have to be aware that you might get some information that you totally don't understand, and you still have to deliver it as it comes through, because the message is for them. The message isn't for you always, although sometimes it is. We'll get into that. Yes, later. But anyway, this is personal development. So I always tell people, listen, your stuff is going to come up. And if you're trying to be a conduit for light and love and information, especially higher realm information on the planet, your stuff's going to be highlighted. So you always have to do your own work. It's why therapists go and seek out their own therapy, right? Same thing, same rule of thumb, so that they can be clear channels for their healing work. And so this personal development piece that I'm speaking to now, this is also your journey. This is about you realizing that you cannot be cluttered by your personal negativities or your fixed ideas, so that you can be a more quote unquote perfect or clear channel. Clear channel. Let's say that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my friends, that's where I'm going to stop today's session. Very important for me to get this information to you. This is how I start all of my psychic development classes, my soul development classes, is to help you understand what are some foundational pieces as you jump forward into this work. I'm really grateful that you listened, and I hope you got something from this, some things to consider, especially open heart, open mind, and no expectation, and really just being present for the experiences that come to you, how you're experiencing them, knowing that your soul's really orchestrating everything with divine grace and that you're going to do great. I really believe in you. That's why I'm doing this. Really. So thank you for tuning in. You have been listening to Soul Awareness with Constance Messmer. Legally speaking, this podcast is presented solely for educational, spiritual, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for medical diagnosis, treatment, or the advice of a physician, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem or condition. Always check with your doctor. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. If you've enjoyed this episode of Soul Awareness with Constance Messmer, we'd like to encourage you to continue your spiritual journey with this next episode.